her bedtime. Okay. The next person up is Devin Rondeau. Devin contacted me a few years ago. Almost done. Okay. Devin contacted me a few years ago to take my Works in Progress workshop, but the timing didn't work out. And then this year she signed up for my grief writing workshop. So, and then she told me she was a new mom too. So naturally, I just felt everything was aligned, and I'm really happy to get to know her now. Her bio is Devin Rondeau lives, writes, and chases her toddler around playgrounds in Brooklyn. Her one-woman show, See Jane Give Up Dick, debuted in the New York City 2013 Fringe Festival. She fantasizes about someday maintaining her blog, finishing a full-length play, and getting 8 hours of sleep a night. You can stalk her toddler on Instagram at devindeering.com. Thanks. Here's Devin.
I've got a secret. This is a very loud mic. I don't want to tell people I am a mom, but I am. I have a child. I mother someone. I'm not sure why I'm even telling you. As I sit down to write this, my baby cries in the next room, far too early to constitute a real nap. A nap he needs maybe a little less than I do, but one I am transfixed on him getting because without sleep there is no break or leave I can take from being his mother. While he sleeps, I can at least return to a time in my mind when who I was and what I did and where I went didn't directly affect the development of a very real and mostly lovely baby boy. Before I was my son's mom, I was Devin Preston. I grew up in Texas, where beauty pageants passed as quality entertainment. Social status was measured by how big and blonde your hair was. My own mom started setting my hair in curlers as soon as I had it. The beauty standard was sold hard and often in my house. We stayed away from ugliness of all kinds, including emotions that could ruin our faces. My transition from pretty little girl to young lady featured varied lessons in how to make myself more attractive to men, one of which was knowing how to walk right up to the line of provocative without ever needing to cross it. Men may be low-life, good-for-nothing jerks, but you, little missy, are worthless without one. When I was 25, I moved into a one-bedroom apartment in New York City. I sought a husband in this city with the urgency of a drowning rat. He, my future husband, was going to be the buoy that would finally help me stay afloat. Feminist ideals from college be damned, I needed this commitment to feel like a card-carrying adult woman, but also husbands are the only people who can make respectable women moms. And even though motherhood seemed like a bum deal, I felt I had to not only do it, but also that I had to do it perfectly, especially if I wanted to keep my adult woman card. So after many years of searching, I found a nice liberal Connecticut-born bohemian who loved his mom and was ready to grow old with someone. So I married him. He was 30, I was 31, and wore very chic white pants on our wedding day. It was my not-so-subtle declaration that our marriage was going to be different. Flash forward to a year later, when I found myself pregnant as planned and in a full-blown panic. I don't know why. I wasn't too young, nor was I too old. I was healthy. I had graduated from college. I was married, and we didn't live with our parents, yet there it was. I was ashamed. My body is something that has never rightfully belonged to me. You know, what it looks like, how much space it takes up, even how it moves, and what I choose to do with it, all feels strictly regulated by standards set by people who aren't me and who are usually not women. I know this to be true on a deep and painfully unconscious level. From the time I began to show signs of beauty or appeal, that power was labeled by someone else as naughty. It became my first responsibility as a little girl to keep this power to myself and not to let it see the light of day. Any experimentation I did that toyed with my lack to draw and hold male attention was done with the clear understanding that it was very dangerous and wrong. I was told that men can see me as that. In fact, that is all they are interested in seeing me as, but I am not allowed to enjoy the ways in which that might empower me. Shame is the color sluts wear. A pregnancy happens to be the fullest expression of the female power, and I found myself wanting to wish it away. It was too much responsibility. that I hadn't the first clue how to hide or keep politely to myself. Everyone was going to know I had done the unthinkable. So I reached back through time, grasping for some lesson in my past to help me through. I came up with fists full of paternal programming that had been stuffed haphazardly into the darker corners of my mind. These were intended to keep me safe from unwanted pregnancies caused by men I hardly knew and did not apply to my current condition. But they began to assault me all the same. Remind me that my body was not my own, that its life-giving abilities were none of my business, that my only responsibility to this body was to keep it in pristine showroom condition for its male owner, lest he find a better, more fit model to replace it with. Instead of helping, they began to pull me down faster than an undertow. My father, in his infinite drunken wisdom, thought it his duty to school me on how to be the best daughter, wife, mother. I am nothing if not a good student, but sadly, the fears that were gestating during my pregnancy weren't going to be solved by doing my hair, putting on something cute, heels maybe, then sweetly telling my husband he's strong and a good provider and we're so lucky to have him. Nothing could distract me from the ferocious life force brimming beneath my belly button I was ultimately going to be responsible for. I couldn't access a single societal message that was telling me I was perfectly suited for motherhood and I could just relax and enjoy the adventure. Yes, I am as shocked as you that I am not writing this from the 1920s. These old, worn-out notions were threatening to ruin the relationship I longed to have with my growing child and with his father. The patriarchy strikes again. But this was bigger than swimsuit season and gluten ladies and a lifetime of passed-over desserts. Now it was actually personal. When I arrived on the other side of being a pregnant woman, surprise, surprise, the experience of being a new mom was loaded with ridiculous expectations for me to adhere to as well. Apparently, in addition to keeping both of us alive, I was supposed to take monthly pictures of my child, laying next to a cutesy sign I made, or paid a lot of money to have someone on Etsy make for me, documenting his growth, while also getting along with my mother-in-law. So, after having successfully delivered a person into being, I arrived home from the hospital in another Category 5 panic. This panic was the heaving, sobbing variety. I was convinced I had already failed our son because he came home with us in mismatched 3-month-old clothing and didn't have a beautiful, completed nursery in which to rest his tiny, oddly shaped head. But thankfully, a deeper truth started to assert itself between the tears. She had been with me quietly through the whole pregnancy. She was by my side through the too many hours of labor as well. She is here for me now. She said to me, "You just delivered a fucking baby, bitch. You got this." And she was right. The truth is, I did know how to mother. Whether the title of mom, mother, or mama still give me the willies, I am that now. I carry toys in my purse. Every article of clothing I own is stained with something. There is no real way of knowing what. And I also am the person my son knew before he was born, and the person who continues to be there for him as he gets more comfortable being outside of the body where he was created. And at the end of the day, I'm just his mom. But also, he literally wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. So ladies, it bears repeating. We got this. I do know how to mother, and so do you. It has nothing to do with him or me looking or acting a certain way. It's just me showing up and being present with him as he makes his way out into the world. Creating life and delivering that life safely into adulthood isn't a foreign skill for us women that we need to pick up on Pinterest. It's not knitting. There is no one right way to do this shit, so thank God. The real secret, the right way, is the way you are already doing it. But you better keep that shit to yourself. That's what I intend to do, at least until after the revolution.